Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. Today I'm going to be doing a book review on Force of Nature by Jane Harper. This is Jane Harper's second book and the second book in the Aaron Falk series, I think is what they're calling it. Her first book was The Dry, which I read last year, and I really enjoyed this one, but I think I loved this one even more than that. So in this story, you are following this group of people who are going on this like corporate team building type retreat together, and they are going hiking in the woods, and the group is split up. So there are five women who are all going to be going on a specific path together. Then there are, I believe, five men who are going on a path together, and they are supposed to meet up at the end of the trail around 3 to 4 days later, and then just like head back to their city at the end of the day. So the story starts off with these men who are waiting at the end of this trip for the women to show up so that way they can ride back in the van together. And it's hours before anyone shows up, and only 4 out of the 5 girls end up coming out of the woods. This obviously sets off this huge manhunt and search in these woods in order to find this missing fifth woman, and no one really knows what exactly happened while these women were in the woods. So this isn't just like a basic missing person story, because the woman who goes missing in the woods was actually an informant to Aaron Falk, who is like a FBI type of guy, except, it's not the FBI because they're in Australia. And she was reporting and providing information to Aaron Falk and his partner about the company that she works for, and specifically like the people who were on this trip with her. The entire time, you as a reader, as well as like Aaron Falk and his partner, are wondering, did something happen on accident, or did somebody do something on purpose and potentially find out that she was an informant and try to stop her? So yeah, that's like the basic synopsis of this book. The way the story is structured is you are following the main timeline where they are searching for this missing woman, and then you also flash back in time and follow the group as they go through this trip, and you get to see what actually occurred. It's very clear that a lot of things happened amongst these women that they are not divulging necessarily. And so as the story continues, you get more and more information about what exactly occurred, and obviously it all gets resolved eventually. So yes, like I said, I really enjoyed this book a lot. It's funny, if you watched my review of Dominicana, which I posted last week, I like raved about that book and how much I loved that book. And I actually started that book and this book on the same day, kind of on accident. Like, I brought Dominicana with me to work to read during my lunch break. But then I had like this random lull in my work day where I couldn't really like pull out a book and read. So I downloaded an ebook on my phone to kind of like pass the 20 minutes I had, and Force of Nature happened to be available, and I was like, hey, I have a physical copy of that, might as well download that to read it. And holy cow, this book hooked me from the very beginning. Like, I wanted to wish I didn't bring Dominicana with me, kind of, so that way I could read Force of Nature, but then Dominicana ended up being great as well. So I ended up kind of like trying to balance my own interests in reading Force of Nature and Dominicana, but both of them I adored so much. And like I said, I think I ended up liking this one more than The Dry, which kind of surprised me because I really enjoyed The Dry. The reason why I think I enjoyed this one so much more is because it's much more of a plot-based puzzle sort of mystery, which is kind of what I always like. I mean, I don't always want things that are purely plot based. And I think Jane Harper does a great job of balancing plot and character in this story. But The Dry is very like atmospheric and very much a slow burn sort of story, which is great. But because this book like just gripped me from the beginning, and because I think the summer has been kind of a slower reading experience for me, having a book grip me so fast and keep my attention for so long and make me want to just like cancel all of my plans and just sit and read a book. Like, it's been a very long time since I felt that, and Force of Nature did that for me. I think the flashing back and forth in time between the current day search as well as what happened on the trip was really smart, because it allowed Jane Harper to reveal information slowly to the reader while keeping information hidden from the police officers and whatnot who are searching. You obviously know as a reader that something happened and it's not really sure what. And so I feel like Jane Harper did a really great job of like slowly divulging information. She does the thing where she like leaves information kind of hanging at the end of chapters, which usually annoys me, but in this book it worked really, really well. And like I said, Jane Harper does a great job of creating these characters who have a lot of layers. And one of the great things about having characters with all of those layers is that there are so many potential possibilities of what happened on this trip. And there are more and more layers that keep getting revealed. And you keep wondering, oh, is this the reason why this character went missing? Or is it one of the other details that's been revealed earlier? Is it more straightforward? All of these different things. And I'm someone, well, I read this book pretty fast, so I wasn't trying to like guess what happened. And I'm also someone who generally doesn't try to guess what happens. So personally, I didn't see the ending coming or the way things wrapped up coming, although I have heard other people say that. But I think that this is enough of a like fun mystery thriller that you should just be able to like go along for the ride and really enjoy what is put out here. I think if you like the dry, or maybe if you were kind of like in the middle about the dry, you should definitely give this book a chance, because I think it's a very different type of mystery book. And so if you're someone who enjoys your books to have a little bit more plot to them or a little bit more action to them than the dry, then this one may be up your alley. So yeah, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was fantastic. It might have even been like a 4.5 star book for me. I really enjoyed this one a lot, and this definitely solidifies like Jane Harper as an author that I'm going to keep up with. I'm very excited to pick up The Lost Man. I probably won't get to it till next year, to be completely honest, but I know now that I'm definitely going to be picking up whatever else she puts out, just like I do with like Tana French and Attica Locke. So that is everything I have for you guys this week. Let me know down in the comments below if you've read Jane Harper at all, and if you've read Force of Nature specifically, and if you've read like all of her books. Talk to me about which one's your favorite. So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching.